Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got 3 replays in the Russian Tier 7 Premium Heavy Tank, the Dreadnought KV-2. This is a tank you're going to be able to earn in an earn-up from tomorrow, and it's a pretty easy earn-up. You only have a week to do it, so what do you have to do to earn this absolute beast at Tier 7? Well, to earn this tank, you've literally got to deal and assist in 1000 total damage in 90 battles in a week. Pretty simple, right? I'd say so. It's probably, what, 12 battles a week? If you've got the time to do it, it's an incredibly easy thing to do. And this is going to be something that is going to completely destroy Tier 7 matchmaking for the foreseeable future, as we absolutely blap a bat chat 12T there. Yeah, it's an absolutely incredible tank. It's very, very brokenly good, and everyone that earns it is going to be really enjoyed it. I mean, most people probably already have bought it because they know it's an absolute meme of a tank. The fact that it just gets this gun that is pretty damn decent and has 700 alpha with a reasonable reload and good pen, it's just a meme of a tank. It's so much fun to play. It's a beast. I'm not a fan of them giving it away though, because like I say, Tier 7 is just going to be unbearable to play because they're just going to be everywhere, and any tank you're going to play is just going to get absolutely wrecked by it. But saying that, what crew do I run in this tank? Well, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Steady Aim, Trap Mechanic, Run and Gun, Snapshot, and Armour Angling. Now, I run Armour Angling because of the way I play the tank. I play the tank to basically trade, is essentially the way I do it. If I think I can take a hit for like 300 damage, but then I'll be able to blap someone for 700, I'll do it. So if I can reduce the amount of damage that I'm going to take from someone shooting me and be able to reduce the damage I'm going to take in that trade, that's what I want. But you could quite easily run Rapid Reload, not Rapid Reload, Rapid Aim. That's the one I'm going for. Same one, Rapid, right? Rapid Aim. You could run Rapid Aim because you can make the turret traverse of the tank just a little bit better, which is a lot nice. You could also run Clutch Braking because the track traverse of the tank is a little bit slow as well, so you could quite easily run that. Now, you might be thinking, well, I could make the track traverse better with the traction system, right? Well, you could, but I don't run that equipment slot. And that's because I run rammer, optics, and the ammo changer. Because the ammo changer for this tank is an incredibly important piece of equipment. Because you can change up between firing the 250 heat pen that you get, which is absolutely insanely good for a 700 alpha gun at this tier, or use the 175 pen AP round that I'm using right now, which is again really damn good considering that every other Soviet gun at the tier gets, well, 122 for instance gets 175 pen for 400 alpha or 390. The fact that this has 700 alpha for that 175 pen is just crazy. Or you could go, well, I'm not going to pen this with either AP or heat. I just need to blap it. I'm just going to load the HE rounds because then you can just play it like a regular KV-2 pretty much, and you can just blap away. This tank is incredible. It has been, always has been. 6.0 made it better. I haven't really played it as much since 6.0. I've been playing a lot of other tanks, but it is a meme worth living. And like I say, the earn-up is pretty damn easy to get it, and it's just going to just completely trash Tier 7 matchmaking, unfortunately. Giving tanks away like the Dreadnought is something that I'm not a big fan of, if I'm totally honest. When it's earn-ups like the Earn Your Legend one, where it's, you know, the Demolisher, the Minotaur KV-5, and, ooh, that poor Jagdpanther. That was an unfortunate shot for that Jagdpanther. I was definitely going to kill the King Tiger there. Anyway, yeah, so the Minotaur KV-5, the IS-6 Black, and the Demolisher, when it's earn-ups like that, even though I don't like that style of earn-up, for tanks like that, it's a lot better because they're tanks that aren't that brilliant. You know, some of them hold up pretty decently anyway, but they're not going to just break matchmaking if they flood it. This Dreadnought will. Tier 7 is just going to be a horrible place if like tons and tons and tons of people get this tank and then play it, because it's just so capable of absolute devastation. And it's kind of like having a Death Star in a way at Tier 7 that just drives around, blaps you for half your health, 3/4 of your health, and you just sit there going, oh, well, great. And the thing is, this tank is so capable, it doesn't care about the tiers, really. It deals with Tier 9 so easily as well, because it's got 250 heat pen. So it just you can blap people for 700, you might take 400, but then you hit them for 700. It's just a fully capable tank. So in this game on Moravanka, it's unfortunately going to be a defeat, but it kind of shows you what the tank can do if you were watching it. When you get yourself into a flanking position where you're not the focus of the fire and you can just keep dishing out that damage so well. And we finished with the first class, the high caliber. 1157 base XP on a loss, which is pretty decent. 4 kills, 4.8k damage in a tier 7. And we were in a tier 8 game. Yeah, the tank is capable. It's a beast. And to be honest, it's a hell of a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. I say, it's a shame that it's matchmaking at tier 7 is just going to be full of them. So we're on to the next game. And we're on Cliff. And I was thinking at the start, like, oh, you know what? I could go down the 2 line and try and rush into that bowl area, because I do like the bowl area. It's a good position generally to take, because you can go in there, you can get shots down the 1-2 if you spot it out. You can also get up onto the top of the ridge line and get shots along the ED line. And by doing that, you can disrupt that flank generally as well. But the Dreadnought KV-2 isn't the fastest in the universe, and it might not reach it. Now here you see my ammo swapper is really helpful. We had AP in, and we see that it's an RU-251. Switch straight to the HE round without the reload penalty, and slap the shell in for 970 to start this game off well against that RU. The ammo swapper equipment is so broken for tanks like the Dreadnought, because it just takes any penalty away from your long reload and ammo selection choice. Because I can load AP, and I can think, you know what, if I need HE or heat at any other point, I'll just click A and automatically load the shell in. It's very, very useful to have. So here we go against the Skoda T50. I switch from the HE back to the AP because I don't need heat or the HE against that Skoda. And we blap him for a big 680 something or 70 something, I didn't quite see. And now we're in this little position here on this ridgeline, and I'm just trying to see if we can get another shot downrange towards that Skoda again, or the Centurion 7-1 that's down there with him. And unfortunately, I can't spot him through the bushes. This is where the poor view range of the tank is going to hamper us a little bit, because I'm not spotting that guy. The bushes in front of us are going to keep his camo bear, and I'm just going to keep getting spotted by this fellow pleb member in the Black Prince here. And that could be a bit painful for me, but fortunately enough, they don't seem to be bothered about coming round. I'm just being careful of attacking this Progetto 66, because while it does have a terrible reload, like, he fires 2, I reload in the same amount of time. He has like 400 alpha, I have 700, While he does have a terrible reload, I don't want to go out in front of him, because he still does have an auto loader, pretty much, just an auto reloader. But that Progetto is actually buggering off down there, and I'm thinking, right, I need to get rid of this Black Prince. He's only going to hit me for 150. I can blap him for 700. Yeah, 700. As we Amarak the poor guy for 1400 and something. I'm so sorry, Mr. Black Prince. I'm so sorry, Bahadir. That poor Black Prince. Like, that is, number one, the power of the Dreadnought, though, when you're coming against it. This is where heat rounds are great as well. Straight through the side of the super heavy. Anyway, yeah, that's where the power of the Dreadnought is, right? That Black Prince, I knew he would get to shoot me once, maybe twice. And the max he was going to do was about 300 damage, and I was going to blap him for 700. And obviously that's where the caliber of the tank also helps, because it's a 152. If it's penning you and it hits that ammo rack, it's probably going to blow it. So we're in a bit of an awkward situation here, right? We've got the Progetto 66 on the right, who actually just gets shut down by the 777 version 2, which is nice. And I'm just looking for shots now at the guys that are attacking from behind. I've got to keep pulling back behind here. We've got a heat round loaded, which should go through the side of the MXM 451's turret. But unfortunately, I don't know where the shell went. We just flat out missed, so we didn't hit that guy. It's where the slightly poor accuracy of the tank does come into play. And yeah, we didn't quite get the shot. But now this SDRV-K is coming round. We've still got the heat loaded because we won't pen that guy with the AP. Slam it straight through his lower plate. 4.4k damage. Now we're now up to, and we're going to go after these 2 heavies that are some of the last on the enemy team. So we're loading the HE round now, because I know I can finish off the VK6160. 16801P. Yeah, the unskinned Mauerbrecher. It's got a very long name. But unfortunately, I don't know where my HE round went. So we didn't actually end up blapping that guy. We're loading heat now to make sure we can go through the MX-M451. But before we get there, the artillery shuts him down. And everyone got big shots into that guy. So we didn't quite get another shot into him, which is unfortunate. And I was going to go around here to chase after this 5120 that's left. But unfortunately, he's on the opposite side of the cliff now. And he's actually just YOLOing straight across that middle area and heading straight back into my team, which is unfortunate for me because that means I'm just not going to get any more damage. But we've still got a great amount of damage for a tier 7 tank in a tier 9 game. Now, like I say, this tank, fully capable in tier 9 games. It's an absolute beast. So we finished with 2 kills, 4.4k damage, ace tanker, the 2k base XP, and like I said, it's tier 9 game. Were we stretched in that game? Not really. We just kept ourselves in a place where we could keep popping out, pumping a shot into someone, pulling back, staying safe. And if we needed to trade like we did with the Black Prince, we pull out, take the hit, blap them and get rid of them. Now obviously we got lucky with that poor Black Prince blowing his ammo rack. Unfortunate for him, but good enough for us. And it's what you always love to see when you're playing the big high caliber tanks, isn't it? You know, when you shoot someone straight through the side or straight through the front and you just see the turret go bing! And you're like, yes! That's the damage we're looking for. It's the memes we want from our derp cannons. It's always a great time. So we're on to the third replay, the final replay, and we're on Abbey. It's a map that I've not actually played all that much recently, and yeah, we're going to run down the heavy tank flank on the 1-2. Now, I want to go to I could go to the 8-9 line and push down there, but I'm not the biggest fan of that flank because if you push into F7 rounds and about, you can get shot from the Abbey. And where that light tank is right now, they can shoot you where you cross. You can get caught in a crossfire. It's just a flank that I'm not the biggest fan of. Now, you can, again, get caught in a crossfire on this flank if you push up to F2, and you might see that in a bit. When someone's in the Abbey and takes up the right position, they can also get shots at you in that position attacking all the other heavy tanks. So that's something else you've just got to be aware of. But this flank is definitely the best place for your heavy tank because there's multiple different avenues. Well, there's 2 corridors, basically. And you can just get stuck into a corridor brawl, which is something that's really good for the Dreadnought because I can pull out, blap, and then pull back again. So I started to load the HE here for the MX-1375, but unfortunately he ends up going back into the Abbey. I'm just looking, should I go down and attack the people on the 2 line? But no, actually, I might get a shot into this IS. So we get the shot mainly aimed in, slap the shell straight through the back end of the IS, track him in place, and do 667 damage, which is great. Lovely. Good start. Now we have to focus on attacking the guys down on this flank because otherwise that's going to start to become trouble for us. So we got the AP round in, we slap it straight through the Tiger 131. I wanted to get the shell into that Tiger 131 because he is the danger. That man has ridiculous DPM, utterly stupidly good DPM, especially since 6.0, and you could make it even 10% even better. It's just a filthy, filthy tank, and I wanted to get a shot into him to get most of his hit points gone so that our team could try and take him out. Now, unfortunately, we bounced on the IS-2M, which is just an IS, but with slightly better armour. Generally, it's got a slightly better armour profile, that sort of thing, which means it's going to be a little bit more awkward to pen, but it still does have the weak spot that every other IS has, and that is the cupola. So we slap a big shell, we make sure we fully aimed the shell into that guy's cupola, slap it in, take most of his hit points away, which means we can now get him in one more shot. So unfortunately for us, the Chrysler K in front of us dies, but that's not really an unfortunate as well because that's actually quite useful for us because now we can keep ourselves covered with his dead wreck and we can try and, you know, stay safe behind it while attacking this guy. So this Glory IS-5 is going to be a bit of an awkward one. Unfortunately, we end up bouncing there because I aimed for the lower plate and I don't quite know why. I should have probably gone for the upper plate there. But actually, the Glory got buffed fairly recently and I'm pretty sure the Armour got buffed, which meant that I probably wouldn't have even penned him with the AP. I should have just loaded heat like I am now and I would have got rid of it. Now, this guy is hull down. I could have loaded heat and tried to go through his cupola, but I decided that's probably not going to work. He's probably going to rush me once I've fired, which is exactly what he's doing. So I slapped HE into his cupola so that when I load AP or heat now, I will definitely kill this man. Wow, we've got the heat in. He's doing me a solid here, by the way. And there goes his Armour. Lovely. He was doing me a solid then, because he was pushing me up the ridgeline, which was making his armour angled worse towards me, which meant that if he just face-hugged me and then kept me in that position where I had to try and depress my gun, I probably wouldn't have managed to finish him off. I wouldn't be able to pen him that easily. But because he pushed me up and my gun went into shooting down on him, that meant I could easily penetrate him, and we got rid of him. So now we've loaded HE, so we're guaranteed get rid of the Draugun. We finished the Draugun off, and then we're going to pull back behind the dead IS-2M to keep ourselves covered from the Tiger 131. He gets shut down by our T-54E2, and now there's 4 of us against 6 enemy vehicles. Obviously there's the artillery and then 5 other enemy tanks. So now we see where the enemy tanks are. There's a Leo down here. We get a nice shot through the back of him. We've seen that there was the TD in the heavy tank in our base. I'm just going to stay here for a second to see if we can get another shot into them while we're in this position, because this is a great position for us to be able to get shots into them without them knowing that we're here. But unfortunately our Barask, who is the medium tank that's run away from G3, is actually flanking around to go for their cap. He's stopped spotting our cap, which means that they're not going to be spotted anymore. I'm not going to be able to spot them. I have to move now. I can't stay there. So I decided to cut across into the middle where the Abbey is, because that is the best place for me to be able to possibly spot up anything else. We've got the heat round him. We slapped the shell straight through the side of that 50 TP prototype. And now we're just hiding from him, really, because obviously we know that Brumbar is still in our cap as well. So I just wanted to keep myself safe. Now, unfortunately, we ended up getting spotted again when we tried to leave the cover, because I was just waiting to get unspotted before we left it. Fortunately enough, though, the Brumbar ends up missing us. The artillery is spotted by the Barask, who ends up... I don't know, I feel like he shot him with HE there and didn't pen him. So we're just going to aim up, get the shot in, and finish off the Lorraine. And now I want to turn my attention back to the base, because obviously there's a 50 TP prototype here. I was looking to see if I could get a shot through that gap, but I couldn't quite do it. So I'm going to just pull up onto this central road, because this central road I could probably get another shot into the 50 TP prototype, or I could get a shot in towards the Brumbar in our base, which is what we want to try and do. So we pull up onto this middle road, and this Brumbar's falling back. I'm loading HE because I only needed HE to splash him to finish him off. I don't want any unfortunate ricochets or non-penetrations with the AP. And now we're going to go up into the centre of the Abbey and see if we can get a shot at this TD, which doesn't seem to be doing anything against this Barask, which makes me think he's possibly AFK, which he is. The Barask finishes him off, and there's only 1 tank left. Now I'm going to save you 3 minutes of pointless driving now to try and find that VK3601H who was camping at A1. And we finished the game with 6 kills, 5k damage, 176 assistance, ace tanker, high caliber, top gun, 5k damage with 2.2k base XP in a tier 8 game. This tank is ridiculous. You're all going to have so much fun playing it. It's going to, tier 7 matchmaking is going to be something to stay away from for a little while. But yeah, the tank, Dreadnought, beast, memes, fantastic. As always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!